stuffed animals and stuff. And then I thought, what happens if CCTV was from the building's perspective rather than people's perspectives? So what would the building look at if the building was in control and the focus wasn't on people's actions and the way people live their lives and not for security reasons? What would the CCTV cameras then stray to? So I took a CCTV bank which was inspired from the film Red Road and took out each screen and then placed footage from cameras that were placed and attached to the building, so from strange angles, so from down the floor and like looking out the window to neighbouring buildings. And then people's actions sort of happens in the background instead of it being the foreground focus. So, yeah.
So what's the so that's the idea.
Yeah.
What's the work trying to resolve then? What's this? What are you offering?
Well, I suppose the issue of you're not knowing what's there from what they've provided you with. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You're provided with this to sort of show you what's meant to be there, but it's not actually accurate in terms of what's really there.
So I basically started by just doing some recordings of some different places and taking. So the thing I did was sort of to take videos. Like I took a video in the meadows, walking along, and recorded the binaural audio at a few different places like the Royal Mile, and then just sort of playing them over each other. So listening to the Royal Mile while watching the video of walking down the meadows. They're all pinned. I've gone around with links to all the audio and tweeted them from the location they were recorded, which has basically pinned them. I'll show you on the map. So that's basically them all on a map, and you click on one, it takes you off and gives you the link, and then that'll take you off to the audio. Well, obviously with headphones in, well, apart from that error. Yeah.
But yeah, well there you go.
Turn it up.
Yeah, it's working fine.
So basically my idea began with, I like the idea of how people on the internet write things all the time, and like, maybe some things they wouldn't even tell their mum and dad about, right? But it's really, really open and public. But when people, the idea began because when people write the same thing if they knew it was projected outside their window, if people could see it walking down the street. And I don't know, my argument was maybe no, they wouldn't, because everyone can see it, but everyone can see it on the internet anyway. So my idea kind of developed from there, and I've created this sort of like application that as you walk around the city, you can kind of hold up your iPhone and pan across the building, and it starts to bring out the feeds from the building, and almost like is the building taking on the feelings of the people inside it.
I'll start with covering what Minecraft is. Minecraft is a sandbox game which generates your character alone in the world, pretty much vast beyond use. The area that you've got to play around with is about 8 times larger than the Earth. It's a completely interactive space. You can pretty much remove every piece of matter in the world and put it somewhere else, allowing you to build pretty much anything, ignoring laws of gravity and not having to worry about context. So I chose to explore what architect students thought of how they interpret the game when confronted with danger. What did they build, and then see how it clashed with their ambition when they got to play on a different game mode in which they had unlimited materials to hand and there was no real danger to them anymore. Homeless housing in modern cities, where people have kind of fallen or been left behind, unfortunately just kind of fight along just to survive each night, and fight against oppression, as people kind of view them as eyesores or dangerous. As we've seen in New York, where it was decreed in legislature that anything over 3 foot 5 was considered an illegal encampment, and the police had the right to just destroy it and move people on, which obviously caused a lot of trouble for people making temporary homes as homeless people, or temporary shelters. The artist Michael Brakowitz stepped in and designed a couple of spaces with the homeless, just made out of scavenged bin bags, and used the vents off buildings to inflate them.
For 5 years now I've had a sort of pixelated vision. It was kind of, doctors think it was influenced by my migraines. Do you know, either of you have migraines? It's kind of like, it's a bad headache, but it begins with a kind of distortion of the vision, and it's just kind of like your eyes sort of pixelate. So when one of my migraines left and I still had this sort of pixelated vision, I decided that I want to try and make something that would allow people to see how I see. So on this side I've got a sort of TV static, which is kind of, it's a bit more kind of severe. I don't see as bad as this, but it's sort of like that sort of flicker and kind of glitteriness. And on this side I've used a webcam thing, which kind of creates a sort of like, when people move, sort of, it's not like really smooth, it's sort of, it's all kind of like, it's a bit bizarre. And also the lamp represents the glow, like people when I look at them, everybody has a sort of halo to them. So what you do is you stand inside, so you've got the sort of flicker on one side, and then you've got the sort of distortion, and like you're supposed to be able to see the glow from the lamp as well. So you can go in and have a look.
Alright. Do you want to go?
Something that I was asked a lot of is, how do you know that this is how, like this is an accurate representation of how I see to like how somebody else would see it. I think like before this whole sort of pixelation started, I kind of had a comparison before to like how I used to be able to see how I can see now. So I'm using that to create this sort of
yeah, so my idea behind it was I was quite interested in how architecture is quite a visual, it's a very visual thing, and I was quite interested in looking how a sound could create a space for someone, but at the same time it could be a different space for someone else. And I did quite a bit of research behind different triggers of what it can remind you of, like different triggers from childhood, like different sounds. And I've basically tried to put lots of different ones in there. And my idea is that we're all going to listen to it, or anyone who has the sound. And basically I've got what is a hashtag, and it's going to basically, we're going to type in where it takes you back to. So it could just be St Andrews down by the beach. Yes. Thanks for that. I knew you were inside the wrong.
We wanted to represent a city that, as people we walk around the city and we can see a road that's congested or busy or anything like that, and we wanted to take that as a person's view looking down the street and put that architecturally into a plan. So we have a planning section, and with that create an application that basically could be developed into an iPhone app or something like that, so a user could then go and live stream a certain area of Edinburgh, say, and be able to see if this route is going to be congested, so stops them being late for work or missing a train or anything like that, and then automatically select another route to the destination.
Because the plan view is linked to the location's busyness within the footage, we decided to link the street movement within the plan to the flow of movement throughout the location. When the junction is busy and congested with traffic, the streets will narrow on the plan to represent a congested space. During the less busy times of the day, the street widths will increase and convey an open space which invites movement.
This is a clip shot between 6:30 and 9 AM. As you can see, Northbridge and Princes Street fluctuates in activity leading up to the 8:30 rush into work. Northbridge is a popular route for both walkers and traffic coming into the centre, so we chose this time slot as a demonstration of peak time this application can be used. We have the same junction between 11 AM and 2 PM. As you can see, there's a progressive build of congestion into the lunch hour. This congestion doesn't die down as sudden as in mornings, instead there are pockets of busy moments. This is represented clearly in plan on the AutoCAD map's constant movement.
Every time my laptop asked to go to a website, it connected and it sent a little bit of extra information to a USB which stored it all. After a while I was planning on taking that and kind of analysing it and seeing what it said about myself, and then it was actually Chris who mentioned that what is an IP address? No one really knows, like it's just something that's there. So I kind of set out with the task of seeing if I could map these IP addresses to real geographic locations. Yeah, I installed IP Logger and I left it for about a month and a half, and that's all technical stuff. I ended up getting, just because I use my laptop a lot, around 50,000 results just of various IPs, and a lot of them were repeats and stuff, but it's just a huge amount of locations visited in just even that short period of time. So I then sat, and you can track, because every IP address, every network has to be registered to a geographic location. So I sat and figured out where those geographic locations were. Again, it was a lot of just sitting and entering information in. And I found 71 cities around the world, basically, which corresponded to these addresses. Just from basic analyzing, you can tell that the majority of them are in actually California, Texas, East Coast America. There's nothing in Asia, which really surprised me. I was thinking the technological center that it is, there would be tons of servers and networks there, but the reality is there's nothing. And then this works. Yeah, I mapped them. So this is my internet for the week and all the different locations I visited.
Practice, you get people that will climb up a building, and just using these very tiny handholds, if you like, and just for the sheer enjoyment for the exploration to try and get to that space that very few people have ever experienced. And I do these and this sort of thing as well. The kind of handholds, instead of like looking for the tiny little crevice to like pull yourself up to a rock climber or going up a building, I use flaws within the game that have been unintentionally included, like being able to like push yourself through a wall just by like using that thing, like a glitch in the system. And I find these quite cool like massive spaces that you're never meant to go to. And that's basically the basics of what I do. But you can kind of classify those down into two types of space. There's like the forbidden space, which is like the space that you can see and that everyone can see, but you can't necessarily get.
I was very intrigued by the idea to sort of project something internally on an internal wall. Maybe the structure of what you don't see, breaking down the solid walls, breaking down the solid elements of the building, so you can sort of have a transparent X-ray image of what you see behind that wall. Through it, you sort of experience the whole building just standing in one room. The idea sort of came to me like, wow, why haven't someone ever done an internal navigation app?